Hey guys, EthDo here, and today I'm back with an all-new Minecraft video. And in today's video, we'll be looking at every new crafting recipe added into Update 1.14, also known as Village and Pillage. Now the update is more well known for its action additions, such as the Illager raids, but there are plenty of new decoration items that have been added also, which we'll be starting today's video with, such as the campfire, which I think is one of my favourite new decoration items. It can be crafted like so. Imagining this is your crafting table here, we have 3 logs across the bottom. This can be any type of log. And then we have 3 sticks and 1 coal. I will show you this one in the crafting table, but for the rest of the video we'll be looking just into the chests. But just to show you that this is legitimate, I'll put it in the crafting table here, and it will give you 1 campfire. Moving on, we have the walls. Now, we've already had walls previously, such as the mossy cobble wall and stuff like that, but we now actually have a lot more variants. We have, for example, brick walls and prismarine walls. They can be crafted like so, by having 2/3 of your crafting table filled with the block of choice, and it will give you 6 walls of that block. Stairs also have plenty of new variants. This includes things like the smooth red sandstone stairs and the polished andesite stairs. They can be crafted like stairs usually are, and they will produce 4 stairs for every 6 blocks you put into the crafting table. Half slabs. There are plenty of new half slabs as well. This includes smooth quartz slabs and red nether brick slabs. These can be crafted using 3 blocks across the bottom of your crafting table, and that will give you 6 slabs. Lanterns. Now, lanterns were originally going to be added years ago. We're talking back in maybe 2012 or 2011, the Halloween update, but lanterns weren't added at the time because they were originally got a little bit of backlash because when they were going to be added, it was going to be as a permanent light source, meaning that torches would become a temporary light source. The people didn't like that and how it would change torches, so the idea was scrapped. But they have now finally been re-added, and thankfully they have not made any changes to torches with the addition of lanterns, which they would have done previously. Instead, they are just a simple alternative to lanterns, alternative to torches. You can use either as you please. They are crafted like so, using 1 torch in the middle of the crafting table and 8 iron nuggets, not ingots, around the outside. The nuggets themselves can be created from using 1 iron ingot for 9 iron nuggets, much like gold nuggets are created. And that will get you 1 lantern. In 1.14.4, the lanterns can also be hung from glass panes as well as iron bars, which I think is a really cool addition, and I'm surprised that wasn't actually in 1.14 to begin with, but it really does improve the lantern for me, and its usage definitely improves as well. The bell. Now the bell is a new item which can be found only in villages. It cannot actually be crafted, so if you've seen any crafting recipes for it so far, then it must have been a mod, or somebody's trying to trick you. It is possible that in the future that a crafting recipe will be added, but for now, you can only find them spawning naturally in villages. When you ring the bell, all the villagers in the village will panic and run into their homes, expecting there to be a raid from illagers. For those of you who like plants in Minecraft, there are 3 new ones. We have the Cornflour, which will give you blue dye when placed in the crafting table. Lily of the Valley, which many of you may recognise from Breaking Bad, that can be used to create white dye, and the Wither Rose, which is a new one, which can be used to create black dye. Now the Wither Rose will actually give you the wither effect if you stand too close to it, so be careful of that. These plants can also be used to create Suspicious Stew. Now Suspicious Stew can be crafted from 10 different plant variants, and each one will create a stew much like mushroom stew, but it will also give you a potion effect. There are plenty of them, so I'll be listing them in the description on which plant to use to get which potion effect. Sticking with agriculture and some plants and crops, we now have composters. Composters can be crafted in 2 different ways depending on which platform you're using. So if you're on PC on Java Edition, then you will need to use the slightly more expensive recipe, which uses oak planks along the bottom with oak fences. This actually can be any other type of fence, it doesn't have to be oak, so it could be spruce. And you have the fences and the planks like so, and you get a composter. If you are on Mobile Edition, however, or Pocket Edition, then, or actually Bedrock Edition, as it's now more commonly referred to, which includes the consoles, then you will actually need to use slabs instead, which is actually cheaper. It's actually much cheaper. And when you create the composter, you can place it next to your crops. And let's say we had some carrots. You can right-click to place them in, and that will fill it up. And when it gets to the top, you will be rewarded with some bone meal. Now this can be used if you have a surplus of one crop that is just growing really well. You have another one that's struggling, and you want to get some bone meal so you can speed up that other crop that you want more to grow faster, I guess. Then you can place all of your surplus crops. So say I really want some wheat, but I've got tons of carrots. I'm not going to use the carrots. I can place the carrots into my composter, get the bone meal back, and then use it to speed up the growth of my wheat, or whichever way you want to do it. It's quite useful. Villagers will also use it. Some villagers, for them, it will be like their job, and they will just kind of hang around the farmland and fill up the composters. So if you do find a village, be sure to check how full the composter is. It might be that you only have to put in 1 or 2 items to fill it up, as certain items will fill it up more so than others. For example, if you put a hay bale in here, which you do just the same as you would normally with the carrot, it will fill up a lot faster than if you're just placing carrots in. A couple of jungle items here. We have bamboo and the new scaffolding. Scaffolding is created using 6 bamboo up the sides and 1 string, and the scaffolding can then be used to build a lot more easier. So you just place it down, place it all the way up the building, and then you can kind of go up it like it's a ladder. But what's great about scaffolding is if you then shift click, you can make your way back down. This makes it far easier to get onto the roof of your buildings and just build in general. To create the bamboo itself can also be used to create sticks, and the bamboo is found in the jungle biomes. If you harvest the bottom of the trunk, as it were, or stalk, then the entire thing will come down. You'll get plenty of bamboo, so it's really quick and easy to get plenty of it. You just need to find a jungle. That's probably the hardest part. Barrels. Now, barrels are similar to chests. They're actually very similar to chests. However, they can be opened when they're underneath a solid block, which chests cannot be. They do have 2 crafting recipes, much like the composter. If you're on Java Edition or PC, then you will need the more expensive version with planks up the sides and 1 oak slab, or it doesn't have to be oak, but a slab at the top, slab at the middle bottom. For Bedrock Edition, that includes everyone playing on mobile and on their consoles, then you will need sticks up the sides and just slabs top and bottom in the middle, leaving that center spot empty. So that's actually a really cool addition. I'll show you how I've been using them soon. They are pretty cool. Crossbows. Crossbow is a new weapon which has been added, much like bows, but somewhat different, and I'll show you how in a second. They're crafted using sticks and a tripwire hook in the middle. You'll need string either side and an iron ingot up top. And opening our barrel here underneath our block, you can actually grab some arrows, and let's grab some firework rockets as well, and I will show you just how this works. So what you need to do is just hold down the right click to pull the arrow back, and then it's actually fully loaded, and you can come off it and go back on it and it will still be loaded. You can in fact fill your entire hotbar with loaded crossbows and unload them one after the other for a rapid fire effect. So then once you're ready, aim up your target and just right click to release. Now what's really cool about crossbows is if you hold a firework rocket in your offhand and then you reload, you can actually load up fireworks and fire them off to create a firework effect, which I think is a really cool addition. Moving on, we now have a couple of new items, or new blocks I should say. Now these are mostly used by villagers in villages, but you can make them yourself and some of them you can use. So kicking things off, we have the smoker. This is made with a furnace in the center of your crafting table with oak logs, or it doesn't have to be oak, but logs around the outside, and that will give you the smoker, which can be used to basically use it as a furnace. But the specific thing about smokers is it will cook up your meats twice as fast. It will also use the fuel twice as fast, but it will just generally make it quicker. So save this one for all your cooking needs. While here we have the blast furnace, which has the same effect, but for ores. So if you have a load of gold, and you also have a load of potatoes, chuck all your potatoes in the smoker, and all your gold into the blast furnace, and you will get the most efficient output. It will give you your items quicker. You'll get your smelted gold quicker and your baked potatoes quicker than you would if you put them the other way around, or if you put all of them into a furnace. Which is really cool because it can take a while sometimes when you're, especially early in the game, where you've got like a good stack of iron and you want to just start making iron armor or tools, and you really just want to get it as quick as possible. Then the blast furnace is a really great idea. Of course, you will need some iron to begin with, so you can't do this the first time. You will have to smelt at least a little bit of iron before you can create this. But it is just a lot quicker, and you'll see that it's very beneficial. Here we have the Grindstone. Now the Grindstone is a little bit bizarre. It's more used for the villagers, but it does have some benefit at least. Using our barrels again, we can open up here. Say we have two tools, in this case iron swords, that are both damaged. We can place them both into the Grindstone to create one sword that has full durability. Now you could already do this in the crafting table, and also even just the inventory, little crafting grid. But this can be used to save some enchants and stuff like that. It's more so used for the villagers, but hopefully it will have more benefit in the future. We have also here the Loom. Now the Loom is actually incredibly cheap to make. You just need planks across the bottom, only 2, and then 2 string on top. And it can be used to create banners much easier than before. Now this is probably one of my favourite additions to this update, because it's so helpful. If you are someone who likes to make banners but just don't like how long it takes with all the crafting recipes you have to go through, this will save you so much time. So you need to just place your banner in here with the colour it already is, and then place your dye of choice here, and then you can just click through the different options and see all the different outcomes you'll get. Now something like this might take some time previously. You'd have to know all the recipes, and it was just such a slow process, but finally they have improved it, and as you can see there are plenty of variants to pick from. You can also create certain patterns. In this case I've got the creeper pattern, and that will let you create something like this. Now what's great about this is the speed the time it saves you, because it's so much faster. It's a much speedier process. The patterns can be crafted like so, just by putting a paper next to the item of choice. So to create the creeper pattern, you need the creeper head. For the thing, which is the Mojang logo, you need a notch apple next to paper, and so on. So it still costs essentially the same in terms of the items you'll have to use to make the banners, but it will just be faster than normal. Here we have the Cartography Table. Now this is used for maps. Again, it's a very cheap recipe. What I've noticed about all of these new blocks is that they are currently very cheap. So you need just 4 planks, 2 paper on top, and that will give you the table, and that can be used to do a couple of different things to maps. The current use, or I think probably the best use for it, you place one map in here, you place a second map, let's just take a look at this map. For whatever reason, there we go, bit of a visual glitch there, I couldn't see the map. So you place the map in, and then you can place a second map in, and it will actually double your maps. Now you may have noticed that there are some visual glitches going on here. That is just to do with the update. For whatever reason, I cannot fix it, but hopefully that will be sorted out soon. Because yeah, this update 1.14.4 is what I'm on now, is a little bit buggy, so I apologise if there's any visual glitches you've noticed throughout this video. Here we have the Lectern. Now the Lectern is again a really cheap recipe. You just need 1 bookshelf, slabs on top, slab on the bottom, and that will create this little Lectern here. Now what you can do to this is create so if you have a book and quill, you've written a book, you can then place the book onto your Lectern, and you can read it from there. Now what's really cool about this is that when you read it and turn the page, it will actually give off a redstone pulse. So in this case, you can see in the background here, I'm turning that light on and off. There are obviously far better uses of this feature than just to turn a light on and off. But just for a very simple example, you could do it that way. Now, I think the best idea I found or thought of so far to do with this, if you're creating an adventure map and you want the player to read a certain set of rules before they start your map, then you could create it so that they have to read off the lectern, they have to turn the pages in your rulebook before a door opens, for example. So you could have this redstone set up to an iron door, something like that, or even like a piston door, which forces them to read the rules before they start the game, because otherwise people will skip the rulebook, generally, speaking from experience. Now, there are also two other blocks which currently cannot be used. Now, this is the fletching table and the smithing table. These are currently used only by villagers. Villagers will use it as their job site, and they will just kind of hang around there and do stuff. But you yourself, the player, cannot actually do anything to them at the moment. They do not open, they're not involved in any crafting tables or recipes, so they're currently useless, but they look kind of pretty, and the villagers get some use out of them. In the future, this may well change. I'm very much expecting that in 1.15, or maybe even beyond that in 1.16, we will finally see some usage for this. What they will actually be used for, who knows? But we'll have to wait and find out. I presume, obviously, there's going to be something to do with archery and bows with the fletching table. The smithing table could be something to do with tool repairing. I'm just guessing and speculating here, much like the grindstone, but the grindstone already kind of covers that, so not really clear what this one's for. The fletching table, I think, is the more obvious choice with the archery, but again, who knows? So that is every crafting recipe added into Minecraft Village and Pillage. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. If it is, please do take just 1 second to hit that like button below, and thanks for watching.